Hey guys. Not bad, yeah. Merry Christmas. You guys want to come in for a second? It's kind of cool.
Sure, we can do that.
Yeah, come on in.
Are you okay with us meeting like this?
For
okay?
For what?
Well, I'm John Goodman, first of all.
Okay.
I'm Superintendent of Waterloo Police. You sent the email to the chief last night.
I did, yes.
So on behalf of the chief, I'm here to talk to you.
Thank you, John.
That's all.
Yes.
It's better in person, I thought.
Thank
as
you.
opposed to going back and forth with the emails.
Yeah.
This is David Cassidy. He's our rural pro officer, community resource officer.
Right.
So we just want to talk about your letter,
Mhm.
right, and about church and service and all of that, and just making sure that everybody knows
Mhm.
what your plans are, what we're being asked to do, and things like that. That's all.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys coming by, and just so you know, I'm not a big fan of pushing back against the police. I do not like that.
Yeah.
I hate what's going on right now.
Yeah.
I think it's terribly unfair, and I know all kinds of terrible things going on in this community that you guys would be better off dealing with instead of a church that wants to meet just after Christmas to worship the Lord Jesus Christ.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair. Dave's gonna walk you through a little bit of, and make sure maybe you already have it or not,
Mhm.
but what the protocol is, just so you're aware.
Right.
Just so we're all on the same page.
I understand.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Dave, go ahead.
Okay, so this is straight from public health
Sure.
to explain the lockdown. This was actually made for our old order Mennonite community.
Right.
And it had to do with their reopening.
Mhm.
They had that section 22 order.
Mm-hmm.
But the long and short of it, after Christmas Day, we're down to church services, 10 people indoors
Mhm.
or outdoors.
I understand.
The exception
Mhm.
is you can have drive-in services.
I understand.
You just have to have the social distancing and so on. So a lot of the churches are going to drive-in, so
Mhm.
they pull into the parking lot and go from there.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then obviously virtual services are allowed. So that's as far as the church goes,
Mhm.
and that's straight from the government.
I understand.
So I'll give you this to have, but that's the long and short of it. As far as the churches go,
Mhm.
then they talk a little bit about businesses and so on, but you
Mhm.
can
Thank you
have
so
that
much.
for your own reference so that you
Thank you, officer.
have it
Yeah.
and go from there, so.
Okay.
We don't want to be going to churches. We do not want to be shutting these things down, but we do want people to be healthy. We want to look after the community the best we can.
I think that, and I understand that because I think that the COVID outbreak is real. But at the same time, I don't think you can reduce human beings to biotic units. And there's so much more involved than just mitigating the spread of the disease, which we've tried to do, okay? I could easily have one service in here and pack the place out. Instead, we have two, okay?
We appreciate that.
Our people have been inconvenienced by having to sign up for our services. We sanitize, all this stuff.
Mhm.
Between services, before services. But I really don't think you guys signed up to go around and show up at peaceful religious gatherings to enforce these orders. I wanted to leave this with one of you.
Sure.
This is an open letter that we had written. I don't know if you've seen it. We wrote it about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
Was that the December 3rd letter?
That's right.
So I have seen it.
Okay, and so you understand that it is a violation of federal law to hinder a minister from performing religious services.
That's your opinion. I have a different opinion. on
Have you
it,
read
so.
the federal law?
I have not read the law on itself, but our number one mandate as police officers is public safety.
Section 176 of the Canada Criminal Code?
Mhm.
Okay, well, we gotta do what we gotta do. It would be very easy for me to say, I'm a pastor and I just have to obey orders, and I'm gonna shut down the church. It'd be very easy for me to do that, just like you're doing that. I'm a police officer and I have to obey orders. But when those men were charged at the Nuremberg trials, I just had to obey orders, do not cut it. Okay? This is not Nazi Germany, I understand that.
Yeah.
But you also need to understand that when the Third Reich started to move forward in power, that they softened up the frontline officers by doing stuff like this. So how did you get decent men like you? Probably have families, have consciences. How did they get education, get them from the point where they're decent guys just trying to earn a living and protect society to the point where they're shooting babies at point blank? That didn't happen overnight. The guys didn't wake up one day and say, I want to shoot a baby. What happened was the Third Reich started to push them to do this. I'm okay shutting down a business and destroying someone's livelihood. I'm okay breaking up a church service. Okay, now I'm okay arresting a woman with her baby. And now I'm okay running over someone in my police car. It's one violation of your conscience at a time, okay? That takes you to that point. And it's my job as a minister of the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ to let you know that we have a government that we must answer to, but at the end of the day, there is a King of Kings and Lord of Lords who you must answer to. And I believe, my understanding is, if I'm correct, that each of you have taken an oath to uphold the Constitution of this country. And enshrined in the Constitution is not the right to be free of sickness and disease, but there is the right to gather for worship. And that is a right that has been ours since time immemorial. It goes back to the 6th or 7th century. We've inherited this. Wars have been fought to have this right. And unfortunately, it's being denied to us right now. We were willing to go along with this for the first few weeks of the first lockdown. But then we started, we have an email list of over 1,000 people in our church, okay? There's probably 600-700 at least that consider this church their home church, maybe more. I have not done one COVID-related funeral since this started. I thank God for that. I've talked to other pastors who say the same thing. I know of 2 people, as far as I can tell, who are not related to me personally, who I don't know personally, but are in one way connected to a family member or someone from this church in other cities. I know of 2 people personally. I know of thousands of people in this community, but I know 2 people personally who died of COVID. Each was in a long-term care facility. Speaking with one of our other pastors the other day, he knows of twice as many people who have killed themselves in the last year. This is not young people, not old people. We have medical professionals in this church. We have people who work in long-term care. We have scientists. We have university professors. And as they analyze the data, they're indicating that we're having the wool pulled over our eyes. It's not to say that we don't believe this is a sickness, but we're saying that the proportionality of the enforcement is absolutely ludicrous. I feel bad that you guys are caught in this position, but I'm caught in the same position as you two. I could say, hey, you know what, just gotta obey orders. But when it comes down to it, I don't want to be the guy that says, I just had to obey orders when I stand before the Lord Jesus on Judgment Day. I want to be the guy that said, you know what, I upheld my integrity. I saw what was going on in the society, and I said, I'm not going along with it anymore. And so I don't know what you guys have planned for Sunday. I hope I don't see you, unless you're here worshiping Christ with us. You're invited to, but if you're going to show up, you're going to show up and I'll suffer whatever consequences I have to.
This is why we came. We want to have this face-to-face discussion. We've heard you. We understand your stance on the whole matter. You understand where we are in the mix, right? So that's why we're here today, as opposed to going back and forth with the emails.
I understand, and I think that's the right thing to do.
Okay.
That's the absolute right thing to do.
All right. So Dave's giving you the documentation. I'm going to give you my business card, so you know who I am, and you have my contact information.
Absolutely.
Okay. And we'll move from here, and we truly hope you guys have a great Christmas and everybody stays healthy.
And very much the same to you, okay?
Thanks.
There you
Okay,
go.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, gentlemen. Okay? Stay healthy, stay well.
Yeah.
You too.
Okay?
Okay.
Take care.
And typically, I really, just so you know, I typically really appreciate the job that the police do. And as I indicated to your chief, I believe in a well-funded police force, okay? Just people going around saying they should defund you guys. The Bible tells us we need police, but your job is not to stop the spread of the disease. Your job is to deal with bad guys and protect good guys. We're not bad guys,
Appreciate it.
okay?
Have a great day.
You take care.
Take care.
Bye now.